Looks like Melody Shari is out and has quit the show Love and Marriage Huntsville as she took to her social media and let her fans know that she will no longer be a part of the show. And you guys know that I actually worked on that show for 2 seasons and I was a producer on season 2. So who better to get the tea from than me, right? You better believe we're going to talk about it. Welcome back to Damien After Dark. If you're new here and you've not subscribed, click that subscribe button down below, boo, so you never miss this piping hot tea and what we got going on, all right? I got a lot in store for 2025 and I want you to be a part of it, all right? Go ahead, click that thumbs up button and like this video. That is your way of supporting the channel. It's free to do. It takes 1 second and I would so appreciate that. Join the conversation and get in the comment section below. Leave me your thoughts and opinions on Melody leaving Love and Marriage Huntsville. What do you think about that? Do you think the show will survive without her? And last but not least, if you would like to donate to the channel and support the movement over here, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle. I'll also post my Amazon wish list. Thank you guys so much for the love, the support. I truly appreciate every one of you. Okay, so this is breaking news in the own world, in the love and marriage world. If you're a love and marriage fan, this is breaking news for you. You know, Love and Marriage has really become a really popular show amongst the reality TV genre, and people love it. They love to tune in. And it's been a very controversial show, and it was centered around Melody Holt or Melody Cherie and her ex-husband Martell Holt. They were the ones who went to Carlos King and pitched a home improvement type show, right? Melody and Carlos went to, or Melody and Martell went to Carlos back in 2014. Said, "Hey, we got this idea. We, at the time they were doing." They were in the home building industry, property preservation. So they go to Carlos and, hey, we want to do this home construction, property preservation, whatever, something with home improvement. We want to do that type of show. Carlos said, I specialize in ensemble shows. Do you have any friends? They went and found some friends, the Scotts. We see the Scotts, Kimmy and Marie saw them. They went and found them. You casted them. That's how we got Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, fast forward 2025. The show aired in, I believe, 2018. Fast forward now to 2025, and Melody is making her exit. Okay, now we're going to read what Melody had to say, and then I'm going to let you guys know what I believe happened and what's going on over there at the Kingdom. Okay, child, at Kingdom Reign down in Huntsville, and I am from Huntsville too, so I got my ear to these streets. I got my ear to these streets. Now let's read what Melody had to say. Okay, she posted this, I believe, on her Instagram. In 2018, I decided to share my life with the world as a cast member on the Oprah Winfrey Network's Love and Marriage Huntsville. Then I had no clue what to expect. I only knew that bringing this show to fruition had been a goal of mine, and it would be another one that I could knock off my list. Now let's stop right there. I think that's one thing Melody and Carlos disagree on. Melody says, I only knew that bringing this show to fruition had been a goal of mine. I think in Melody's mind, this show is hers, but in Carlos' mind, this show is his, because Carlos says it every now and then. If you listen to Carlos' podcast, if you watch his YouTube, he says my creation all the time. My creation, Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I don't know if that rubs Melody some type of way, because she feels like she created it. But here's the thing, fans, y'all, millimeters, everybody out there, y'all can say that was Mel's idea. They did have the home improvement idea, and they did bring it to Carlos. But once she signed her name on that dotted line, she relinquished everything to Carlos King and own. They own that. They own that show now. No pun intended. Own. But that's their property now. Melody and Martell do not own Love and Marriage Huntsville. And they did not create it either. If they would have created Love and Marriage Huntsville, they would have went out here and got a freelance production company, put their name on the show, pitched it themselves, and then it would have been theirs. Do you all see what I'm saying? Let's continue to what she said. She said, I've always been intensely ambitious, and I believed reaching this milestone was another step in the right direction. And it was, for many reasons. Because of my time spent on the show, much of my life is now documented and sealed in history. I've been presented with opportunities beyond my dreams. I've had the pleasure of meeting some amazing people while unfortunately also learning tough lessons about life, relationships, and friendships. I count it all a blessing because without pressure, there is no diamond. It is not easy bearing some of your darkest moments to the world, but it becomes easier when you know you were created to withstand the heat. Still, this chapter, sorry y'all, let me cut my notifications off. Um, Still, this chapter must come to a close, and this is the end of my chapter with Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm thankful for the support of those who have shown me grace, loyalty, and love. None of it has gone unnoticed, and it will never be forgotten. I'm excited for my next chapter and what's to come. God bless. Love, your 2024 reality TV queen. Now, Mel, here, here's the thing, and I'm not hating when I say this. I'm gonna be real with y'all because I do love Melody. I love Melody. I've worked with Melody. I told y'all I've been in her home. I was in the car when she was on the way to give birth to baby Melania. Melania. I was in the back seat with her on the way to give on the birth to give Melania. I care about Melody because I've seen a lot of her life play out. But Melody won an award for reality TV queen. I think at the reality TV awards or something like that. But to me, the reality TV queen would have to be Nene Leakes, Tiffany Pollard, Tammy Roman, somebody who has really like been a staple. And I'm not taking away from what Melody's done because let's get one thing real crystal clear. Love and Marriage Huntsville would not be the success that it is today without Melody Cherie. Okay, let's be very crystal clear. Love and Marriage Huntsville would not be the #1 show on the Oprah Winfrey Network had it not been for Melody Cherie and her husband Martell and that storyline. Their storyline in the beginning, the show, the first season opening with this power couple in Huntsville, this beautiful couple that you can look up to, and then you find out that the husband's having an affair and has this mistress. We sunk our teeth in, right? So we can't take that away from her at all. But in my opinion, do I think she's the reality TV queen? No. And I just felt like to put that at the she should have said love Melody Cherie. I wouldn't have said love your reality TV queen. It just sounded a little corny, not gonna lie. Anyway, now let's get into it. Let's get into what I believe is going on, okay, down here in Huntsville. There has been some animosity, I'm going to say allegedly, all right? We're going to say allegedly for all legal purposes. Melody and Carlos hadn't been real tight lately, right? I think we can all see that. I don't have to be told that. We don't have to hear that from the streets. It's been clear that Melody and Carlos have not really been in the best spot. And if I'm not mistaken, at one point, wasn't Melody, didn't she unfollow Carlos on Instagram at one point? I could be wrong about that, y'all. Check me in the comments if I'm wrong. But, you know, Melody hadn't been on Carlos's YouTube channel. She hasn't been on his YouTube in a while. We haven't seen them really congregating in a while. The last time we saw Melody and Carlos together was when he did his Reality with the King tour last year, and he came to Huntsville and she was a guest. That was the last time. Now Melody even went on live. She went on her Instagram live and she was implying that she was upset and didn't trust Carlos. And it was all an implication. She didn't say his name, but she kept saying when you work for somebody and they're in a leadership position, or when you work for somebody and they're the owner of the company and they do, you know what I'm saying? She was being very strategic how she spoke, and she was tiptoeing around it without saying his name. But it's very clear that these two have not been in the best terms. Now let Carlos tell it. He'll tell you everything's fine. I saw on his YouTube page a couple weeks ago somebody said, "Are you and Melody okay?" Because the people have been wondering, the fans have been speculating, the streets have been talking. And he read the comment and he was like, "Guys, we're fine. We're fine." And I'm like, Carlos, I love you, baby, but I know Carlos being in the position that he's in, being an executive, owning a production company, and having this weight on his shoulder, this pressure of having this huge franchise on this network, he's got to be careful how he moves. He can't be out here arguing with the talent. You know what I'm saying? He's got to be professional. It's already bad enough him being the talent and him now being the talent and being on camera and giving his opinion about shows. He has to be careful with that enough as it is. So he definitely can't rock the boat with cast members. But where it really went left for Melody, I truly believe, is when the whole Martell storyline took place with the revenge PORN, right? The revenge corn. We remember, if you haven't watched the show, I'll fill you in. Carlos, or not Carlos, Martell had alleged, or Martell was telling people he was going to go and show pictures of Melody either unclothed or giving him head, one of the two. He either had shown it or he was threatening to show it. So Melody went and swore out a warrant for his arrest, and he was arrested for harassment communications, I believe. I believe that was the charge. Now, where it gets sticky between um, Mel and Carlos is Mel believed that Martell action should have been taking place. Mel did not feel protected. Melody felt like, why is Martell still on this show? Why am I having to film scenes with him? Why am I having to sit down with him? Now, I don't know if it was an ultimatum. I don't know if Melody and Carlos sat down and had a conversation and she said it was either me or him. I don't know what happened, but I also believe that this was not a shock to me. Melody quitting the show was not a shock to me. She's not been promoting the show. There was a rumor at the beginning of the season, or either last season, that she was doing a love and marriage blackout, which meant she wasn't promoting the show. She wasn't talking about the show. So the word on the curb is that she's been upset with Carlos for a while and that she was going to quit the show. There's been rumblings in the streets of Huntsville for some time about that she's not been happy with how things are going. Okay, now, do I think Melody can be a little bit of a diva? I do. I do. If she doesn't get her way, I've experienced it myself. Just a quick little story. When I was a production assistant on the show, Melody wanted. She was pregnant. Now I'm gonna give her that. I'm gonna give her that. She was pregnant. Okay. So I'm gonna give her a little bit of a pass, but she wanted, the Sonic ice, the little, the little. If you have do any of y'all have a Sonic near you? It's the drive-in fast food place where you pull up and order your food, and not like a drive-through, but a drive-in. She wanted the little Sonic ice, right? So I'm driving, running my production assistant errands because I was an assistant in season one, and I'm like, oh, I'm passing a Zaxby's. Now, I'm not talking to Melody. I'm talking to whoever she asked to get the ice, right? I'm like, I'm passing a Zaxby's, and if any of y'all know Zaxby's, they have the same little ice that Sonic does, the little bitty small ice. I'm passing Zaxby's. Can I pick the ice up here? That way I don't have to, go out of my way to go to Sonic. Well, no, Mel wants the Sonic ice, and I'm like, girl, we are in season one. What are we being divas for? It felt like diva behavior to me. Okay. Um, and she also wanted, when she was pregnant, wanted to shut down the hospital floor for herself. Now, come on, Melody, tell me that ain't diva behavior. Were you being a diva with Carlos, Mel? And listen, I get it. Here's what I want to say. I understand why she does not feel protected if her husband were to do something like that, right? It's almost a catch-22 because I understand where she's coming from when she says, "Look, this man is threatening revenge corn on me. That's not right. That's illegal. Something if somebody is doing something illegal, um, that should be handled." But on the flip side, this is what's currently going on in her life, right? If the cameras weren't there, this may still be going on. I'm sure Martell would still be out here arguing with her and threatening revenge corn. So it's like I don't know. I'm torn there. I'm torn there with that because, like I said, I understand where she's coming from, but at the same time, we've got to make a show. We've got to make a TV show, and as long as nobody is unaliving anybody, as long as no children are being, harmed, uh, you know, how do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel like Carlos and the network should have fired Martell for the revenge CORN accusations? Corn, I spelled out corn, but PORN accusations. Or do you think that um, Martell should have been allowed to stay on the show because that's what was happening real time in their lives? And if they were to have gotten rid of Martell, should they have gotten rid of Maurice for getting the DUI and Destiny for getting arrested? Or is that apples to oranges? Now, another thing, Melody leaving, I'm going to be real with y'all. To me, I feel like what we're experiencing with Melody is that she's going through the Nene effect, okay? Do y'all remember in season 4 when Nene really got big and her career was big and she had that NBC sitcom called The New Normal and she was doing Dancing with the Stars and Celebrity Apprentice and she was on Broadway and she was really, really feeling herself. Do y'all remember that? And then we noticed like seasons 4 through 6, 7, Nene was just full of herself, big headed. She felt like she was above the girls. She felt like she didn't need this show anymore. And she said, I'm out. And she quit the show and she left. Y'all remember that? That's what I feel like is going on with Melody. Now, two totally different situations. They're not as similar because no shade, Melody doesn't have the same opportunities that Nene has that was knocking at Nene's door. Now, we can't discredit Melody's 7th Avenue. She's got what, 7th Avenue Beauty or is it 7th Avenue Skincare? She's got Melody has a beauty and cosmetics line that has been doing very well, and that could be the reason why she is leaving. Maybe her business is doing well enough where she's like, "F this, I ain't got to do this no more. I'm not arguing with these hoes no more. I'm not doing this no more." And I use hoes as a term of endearment. I know, if any of the cast of Love and Marriage is watching, Maurice, Marceau, Tisha, all y'all know I'm using hoes as a term of endearment. I love y'all. It's nothing personal. But their situations are different. While Nene had this whole television career that was taking off, TV, film, Broadway, all that good stuff, Melody is having business success. Her cosmetics and beauty and skincare line is like doing really well. So and I wish the best for her. I hope her line goes into, because when I speak my truth on working on Love and Marriage Huntsville and I speak my truth on how I feel about the cast members, people get so butthurt and they be like, "Arr." But at the same time, I give praises too. Just like I say, I want Melody to be successful and I want all of her products to be in every damn store and, her to be able to leave a legacy behind for her children. So, anyway, back to what I was saying. I feel like she's kind of like Nene in a way where, like, okay, A, I don't need this show no more. B, I got all these other opportunities. In Melody's case, it's the beauty line. And C, I'd be lying if I didn't say it was a little bit of big headedness. Okay? I'd be lying to y'all if I said it. I do feel like Melody is feeling herself. I do feel like she thinks that she's above the show. And I do think that in a few years, if the show is still running, she will want to come back. Okay? Because here's the thing. Let's just be real, and I don't care who gets mad about it. When Mel leave this show, people are not going to be checking for her the way they are now. I like when you're on reality TV the way you are, you're pretty much a commercial every single week. People are seeing you in their homes every single week. When Melody quits the show, people aren't going to be seeing her every single week. And you know, look at Nene. Let's look at Nene. She's a prime example. Her opportunity somewhat dried up. She's not on any NBC sitcoms anymore. She's not on Bravo anymore. For a few years, she didn't work because of the Bravo thing. But even now, with the Bravo thing being over, do we hear people really checking for Nene like that? As much as I love her, I've met Nene. I love her to death. Was super kind to me. Have no issues with her. But she hasn't been working like she used to. And she wants back on Atlanta Housewives now. Did y'all know that? She wants to come back. I don't think Nene is being as honest about wanting to come back as she really is. Because when they ask her, she's like, yeah, yeah. If we had some conversations, I'd come back. But in real life, Nene knows she would run back to Bravo because those paychecks were that good. And I know Melody's getting paid pretty well over there on Love and Marriage as well as a executive producer and a cast member. And I just feel like when the years go by, and she's not really on TV as much, I think she's going to miss it and she's going to want to come back. Television is addicting. Being on TV, that fame, that's addictive. And no matter how much money you have, that 7th Avenue beauty could be selling all day long. She could make millions off that. But that fame, you still crave that. You still crave that fame. You feel me? I don't know. What do y'all think about this? Do y'all think the show will survive? Let's talk about that before we wrap it up. There were a lot of comments of people. It was split. It was split when I looked at the comments because there were half the people saying, "Well, there goes the show, cancel the show," and then there was another half of people saying, "Oh, well, this is good. I'm glad she's doing this. The show will go on. I want to see fresh faces." And like I said, Melody was a huge part of the show. The show is the reason. Melody is the reason the show is successful as it is today. But I do believe it will go on. Okay. Do I think the show would have went on without her in the beginning? No. Do I think it will now? Yes. I feel like Love and Marriage Huntsville is a house that Melody built. I feel like Love and Marriage Huntsville is a house that Melody built, but now she's moving out of the house and she's letting someone else rent it. You know what I'm saying? It'll always be her home, but she's moving out and she's letting somebody else rent. She's going on to a bigger and better house. Hopefully, I hope she goes on to bigger and better things. But I feel like maybe she outgrew it. Maybe she just outgrew it. We outgrow things in life. I also understand um, her and Martell's situation is super, super toxic. And look, they're gonna have to learn to get along. I know, Melody, it's difficult. We don't live it. We don't know what goes on. Um, I get it that Melody does not like Martell, but at what point do we swallow our pride? F it, screw it. Take them to the children. Here you go. Have a nice day and move about. I like because I do think deep down somewhere inside, Melody is still hurt over her marriage. I mean, who wouldn't be? I would be. I know it's been what, 5 years since they divorced, 4 years, but that's your first love. That was the man she was married to for like what, over a decade. They've got 4 kids together. You don't just drop that overnight. And I think there's still a little bitty piece deep down in her that's like, why did you fuck this up? Why did you embarrass me on TV? Anywho, I do think the show will go on now that they've got the show as successful as it is. Real Housewives of Atlanta went on without Nene. Okay, so Love and Marriage Huntsville will be okay, but they are going to have to get the casting right. They are going to have to get the casting right. Carlos, call me, okay? I got you. I know some power play. You know what? I need to text Carlos myself, or not text him, DM him myself. Look, I know some power players in Huntsville, and I'm gonna tell you what Love and Marriage Huntsville is really missing. They need a spicy fashionista that's successful, whether her husband is successful or whether she's successful in her own right. But she needs to be fashionable. She needs to be spicy, and she needs to be not afraid to shake the table, okay? Because Huntsville is not known for fashion, okay? So we need a girl that's going to come in and gag everybody. We need a girl that's going to come in and be authentic, but shake the table. Y'all know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me know all your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all things reality TV. Subscribe, click the thumbs up button and like this video. And if you want to donate to the channel, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate. All right? I love you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. Bye.